Member of Congress from Florida, Republican Paulina Luna, announced she's issuing a formal document request to Neville Singham, the guy I was telling you about. Why? Is he trying to fund our demise? She says if he refuses to comply, he will be referred to the DOJ for prosecution. Paulina Luna, APL as I call her, joins me now. Thank you for joining me, Congressman.
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
So you heard what I said. Are we basically on the same page, and what does the audience need to know that you're suspicious of?
Yeah, so you actually knocked it out of the park in the intro. And again, you know, I believe that what Neville Singham and what the CCP is doing is actually not uncommon for these color revolutions. I think that right now, remember, this is coming at the same time. Within the last couple of weeks, we've actually been able, the FBI has actually obtained and arrested multiple members of the Chinese government that actually were trying to smuggle in agro-terrorism into the United States. What I can tell you is that I don't think that this comes at an off time. I think that if you look at what happened in 2019 with COVID-19 amidst negotiations with China as well then, I do believe the Chinese government knows what they're doing. They're smart and they're dangerous. And I think that right now, instead of focusing on what they're trying to do, which is race-bait Hispanic Americans into thinking that this is about deporting immigrants or deporting illegals, it's not about that. They're actually using that as a ruse, just like during BLM, Black Americans were used under the same ruse, usher in Marxism. And what I will tell you is the funding and the money that we are seeing coming actually into Neville Singham's pocketbook, and then also too that are being distributed among some of these nonprofit and organizations, it's actually money directly from the CCP. Actually, under the last administration, under Garland, Senator Rubio then, and then also to Senator Lindsey Graham wrote a message to Merrick Garland actually asking him to investigate Neville Singham under FAR violations, and the administration never followed up. So I'm very serious about what I'm saying. It's not just me, it's the entire Oversight Committee in Congress that will be issuing that testimony. If Neville Singham does not show up, he will be then held in contempt of Congress. And this is a different administration. We are not playing games. Right now, you are seeing right now in real time, things are heating up in the Middle East. You're seeing China actually just activated its own ships into the Pacific for the first time. They are not our friends. Although I know President Trump is currently engaged in negotiations with Xi Jinping, and it seems to have gone well, at the end of the day, China wants to be number one. And in order to do that, they have to knock us off the block, if you will. And so we need to be very aware of this and understand that at the end of the day, it's not about clicks, it's not about ratings, it's about keeping our country number one, first and premier in the world. And we have to make sure that we know exactly who we're dealing with.
Two questions. One, do you believe, or do you have reason to suspect that Chinese influence expands beyond what we're seeing in Los Angeles to the other protests? And do you believe that this issue should be part of the administration's negotiations with China?
I do believe that it expands past that. I can tell you that there's also groups actively in Washington that we know are also speaking on the issue of Israel and what's happening right now over there. Code Pink is one of them. They actually said that they were going to file an ethics complaint against me because I actually pulled up their funding from the Communist Chinese Party and also called them communist agents. So what I can tell you is it doesn't just stop there. I mean, everything from bot farms on social media to accounts that you'll see pop up. I do believe maybe even some influencers are paid to push pro-Chinese propaganda. But I also think that the administration is well aware of this. You know, Secretary Rubio, of all people, has been actually tough on this, and he will continue to have his eyes on these issues. I think that they know very well that it doesn't just stop there. We know that there are the Confucius Institutes that pop up. And frankly, my main concern also is that China's operating in South America. I just got back from meeting with President Bukele. I've met with the Honduran government. I can tell you that they are not our friends. And actually speaking to what's currently happening in the Middle East, at least I can bring you one positive piece of information, Chris, for you and your viewers, and that I actually just got off the phone with the Syrian government, and the Syrian government within the next couple of days, potentially next couple of hours, will be reaching out to the Israeli government. I've heard and definitely been able to pass the information that the Syrian government has expressed the willingness to join in the Abraham Accords and that they do not want war with Israel. And so I think that that's at least the one positive note that we can take from all of this.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.